All right, I feel compelled to chime in on this union thing because it's actually really significant to me. I've dealt with unions, been on committees and stuff. Don't like it. I've not run for office, mostly because I find that I don't like actors enough to represent them. But let me say this. It's the merger, the SAG and AFTRA merger, is not really a debate. It's a necessity. It's sort of like, hi, you're gonna get raped. Do you want a knife or a jar of Vaseline? Those are the choices. That's the debate. And it seems, at least so far, that everybody's sort of on the same side. I will go so far as to try to pithily encapsulate the devil's advocate argument. The only reason one could give for not supporting the merger is you hate AFTRA. I've never run across anybody who likes AFTRA who is anti-merger. I've run across many people who are anti-merger, and it's mostly because they are anti-AFTRA. And even those morons can't say that we wouldn't be better served by having all actors under one union. Their response is, well, let's just kill AFTRA, or take all the actors out of AFTRA. And that's absurd. The merger between the two unions will serve to correct a decades-long hideous error. In the olden times, AFRA was a radio union in New York. SAG was a movie stars union in Hollywood. And ne'er the twain did meet until the Dumont Network came up with this television. And at that point, the two should have merged. But they didn't, because they had their little fiefdoms and nobody wanted to give up any ground. So they came up with this weird, cobbled together thing where, well, shows that are done in New York, soap operas, were AFTRA. Everything else was SAG. And the nominal reasoning for that was, well, these are shot on tape and these are shot on film. Film is the purview of the Screen Actors Guild because film is showed on a screen. There is no sense to it. There never was any sense. There is no sense to it now. There's even less sense to it now because there's no tape or film. There's just zeros and ones. So, yes, in 1943 they should have merged. They should have merged again in 2004 when all the corporations that we as actors deal with decided to merge. Like, wow, Time Warner, Well, you know what? I would like SAG and AFTRA separately negotiating with a massive multinational conglomerate. That makes sense. No, it doesn't. So we're dealing with huge Fox, Time Warner, Time Warner AOL, all of these things. They're growing bigger and more powerful while we don't. And really, we have so little leverage, as it might have been Josh who said, because, one, we're not a union, we're a guild. A union gets people work and controls work. A guild does not. A guild is someplace where people can go to be among like-minded folks. It's bullshit. It's someplace where they can, keep all the phone numbers in case somebody's coming on looking for an actor. Yeah, that happens. The reasons not to merge. The two unions are very different. They have very different philosophies, they have very different strengths, they have very different weaknesses. Both of them are understaffed and very ill-prepared for the future. So they have that in common. SAG is larger, certainly in the number of actors. I think they have 120,000 to SAG, AFTRA's 70,000 or something like that. And there are 40,000 of us who are dual members. But the fact of the matter is, SAG, as a negotiator, is useless without AFTRA. You cannot negotiate any contract with 75% of the covered workforce. Can't. It's ridiculous. Especially a workforce with intangible skills, things that can't be measured, and things that when you put them down on paper, you can't quantify. Like, well, why should we pay for those people when we've got those people over there? There is no rhyme or reason to it. There will be there will be a downside. The pensions, some people, because right now people have to earn 2 livings to make 1 health coverage. That will probably get better. Health coverage will be better. There may be people who are almost at their pension in 1 who lose some of their time. Somebody's going to get hurt. Always happens in a merger. The good thing is, unlike most corporate mergers, we won't get laid off because we're not working. So anybody who tries to argue against it will probably bring something like that up. Well, what'll happen to the pension plans? I don't know. SAG's pension plan is worth more. Will we lose our pensions? No. They may lose some value. But the fact of the matter is, without a merger, you'll definitely lose your pension and your residuals and what little leverage you have in negotiations. So if you are anti-merger, you can just think of it as the lesser of 2 evils. Well, one being evil, the other being extinction. So choose wisely.